Alright, so now let's go and see how to create a grab animation and how to create that hand spread out. So first we have to check it up with this line, and there is no attribute holder. Why is isn't? Probably because there was a fatal, okay, it's over here, and there was a fatal error earlier where we had not saved those. So I am having something like these roles. We have these ring rolls. We haven't had the ring rolls in little, but I just to demonstrate the grab and that stuff, I'm just showing you this. So let's first select our reaction manager in order to go for a grab. Okay, so first let's go for a reaction manager. Then let's select our master will be here, modified attribute holder, this, and grab. Select grab, then the slave, and we are gonna select this. It's a transform rotation. It would be about x or y, I don't know, it's probably y, right? We have to see, okay, this is y direction. That's a y direction, right? Okay, and then I had to add another slave which is of this transform, and we had to select this state as well, right? Select that state, select transform rotation y direction. Again, let's select slave, this one, transform rotation y direction, and do the similar with the this, and transform rotate y direction, right? Four of the things, four separate things. We'll work on this one as well. Just select this, select, give it a slave, rotation y direction. I don't know, probably this will be y, or it's a z direction, I guess, right? So we'll select and we'll remove this as a slave, and we're gonna add another, go to transform rotate z direction, right? So everything is now rotated. Alright, this was our first state. On this state, nothing, no value is actually working. Right now we have to select our master, then go to create mode, and then we'll have to give a grab about 10. It's a 10 value, and then we're gonna do the value change y direction, y direction. I don't know where is y is going on. This is y direction, this is y direction. Okay, we had only changed the y direction, don't worry about these, we can fix this later on. Then what we are going to do, we're gonna append, not, we're gonna create a new state. Okay, so when we are going to create the new state, it will look something like that. Turn it off, turn the clear create mode off, and then you can actually, right now the initial state is not updated for these. Okay, so what we have to do, we have to go to finger, select the state, edit mode, I should say, edit mode, select, and we have to give this state its 0 position. Okay, and then append the value, turn it off. Append means it is going to be included in that state, it will update that state. If we create a create state, if we do this one, yeah, it will create a new state, it will not added that one. Now as you can see, it's not going as we have thought of, so we just need to go to grab thumb roll at uh, yeah, you've got the idea that we have to select all these portions and then we can do that. But that is this could work for a spread one. You just have to give an x direction for this, right? So let me just give it select that one and actually put that one over there, select, right, and open. Okay, you got the idea of what you have to do. Other than that, uh, about the spread, you can do this, yeah, but the grab has lot more rotation into it, and those rotation can be controlled through this one. This is index roll and this is middle roll, and right, I have done only two of these. So what we are going to do, we are going to connect our uh, I should say grab with these 2 points. That can be done through parameter editor, because over here we could not able to select these. We could select these as well. Let's try it up. We had tried this earlier but it doesn't happen, right? We'll have to select modified attribute, custom attribute, go to grab, then it's there, right? It's there. Then select this, transform rotation over here. So as you can see, there is no other values we are not getting any other values over here. So from here I think it is not possible. So to control that, we can go for parameter editor. Parameter, we are going to go for wire parameters, right? And over here we can actually refresh it on both sides and go to finger, modified attribute, custom attribute, go to grab, right? And over here as well, just go to modified attribute and go to index roll, right? Index roll, we can select both, but show all tracks, find next, there's a word, we have to do it manually. And it will be a one-way connection. Okay, just do that one. We had already done that, and then one-way connection, it will control this thing. And if we are going to grab it, so you can see it is, that would also work. Now again for another one, no, I was just doing with thumb roll. Connect has to be clicked. Now select this one way connect, right? Now you can actually control the grab, the complete control. And as you can see, if I am spinning out this one, these ones are automatically being spinned, right? That's how you create the grab one, right? And your open white can also be created through not parameter wire parameters are not going to do that. It will be done through reaction manager. If you are going to create a connection between the bones and the controller, definitely go for a reaction manager. That would create much better ideas. But if we are going to go for a parameter controls, if we are giving a separate parameter control, then we have to go for parameters. So that's how you do that. Now let's talk about uh, skinning. Skinning process is basically made for it's basically used for um, to connect your um, geometry with the skeleton. Okay, so how does this thing works is basically that every skeleton has a area of effect, right? AOE, we talk about it, right? We normally knew that area of effect is something, a term which denotes that if you are having a object such as a skeleton, around it there is a certain range where its influences could work. Okay, so there is a envelope which is also denoted as an area of effect. So that envelope is actually gonna cover your skeleton bone, and it tells the software that whatever is the nearest with the bone, that vertex, whatever the vertex is near of that bone, will have the highest of influence over its towards that bones. Okay, so we are to, first of all we have to tell our geometry that what is, where is the actual bone structure. So in order to tell that, we have to apply a skin modifier over here. So go for a skin, and just for a instance I am taking a copy of it, just because I wanted to create a morph, some facial expressions and everything. So if you wanted to do that, you need a separate character mesh which has the actual topology of this particular mesh. So that is why you need to have this one, and just hide this one. Now select the geometry, give it a skin morph. Right, that skin morph is there. Now what you can do, you can always go to envelope and then add bones. So what are the bones structure that are going to use? So you need to go for master controller and always focuses on bones. So you have to turn everything else off. You need to focus on only on bone. So I need pivot, just because as you can see there is no other bone which is not available here. So what we are going to do, we are just opening everything. In order to add all of those bones, you need to open their hierarchies, because without doing that, if you're going to select this one, don't just expect that everything is getting inside of it. You need to open all of that. If it is not open, if it is something like this won't work. Only the master controller is going to be selected and none other than that. So you need to open everything. Okay, we have selected everything, and there's an FKN also. So you need which one? This one, right? So you don't need to go for IK bones, neither you need to go for FK bones. Okay, you need to select only these bone structures. So let's select these and select. Then you can see everything is right over here, and you can see inside of a bone there is a connector which is denoted in a black dots and a line. These connector actually is there to select your particular bone. Whenever you select that bone, you will see your envelopes over there, right? So there are particular envelopes which shows the area of effect through about that bone. So let's just go and see how much it is deformed and how much it is gonna work. So I'll just click on the skin, and then I could actually change, but you can see it's not having any effect over here. Only some of the portions are there which are in effect. Alright, so it's quite funny and we need to fix it. We'll select the body and see which bones are there. uh, we have to see that which bones we are actually connecting, and it is being denoted by these, right? So let's select this. We need to see the whole hierarchy if it is available. No, I could do that, but it won't work like this. Why? What I am doing is I'm just looking at some random bones which is inside of it. I just wanted to see whether all of those hierarchies are inside of that this small box or this skin modifier. Now let's just say we have these, as we can, it is already being denoted by these. So that means these are all inside of it, and the ones which are not inside of it are not going to show us those hierarchies, okay, or those gray points inside of them. So now how we are going to work? First we have to connect, and now whenever I select my geometry, my bone, you can see that my geometry is painted in some different colors. Red will be the one which have the whole influence over that bone. The vertices which have all the influence over that bone are going to be the vertices which were influenced by the bone. That would be the right term. The vertices which has the 100% effect of the bone is going to be painted as red, and the later one, the one which doesn't have any effect, will be painted as gray. The vertex which has about 10% or 20% of the weight is gonna be painted as blue, and so on. So the spectrum will work from red to gray, right, which is gonna be passed through green, blue and yellows, and all of those colors are also be available there. So depending on the color, we can actually assume that what type of the uh, bone and what type of the influence is actually being provided over the vertex. So now as you can see, I have a head vertex over here, and I just wanted to paint this one to be red as well, because I don't want this separate bone which is coming out right outside of the geometry. I do not want that one to be influenced, or I do not want that one to influence the other geometries. So what we are going to do, we are going to paint them as a red one. So how to paint them as a red one? There is a weight properties over there. Weight is actually directly proportional to, directly not proportional, but directly denoting, it's a different word for influence. Okay, so through weight we can actually tell the vertex to uh, in how much influence it should be having with bone, with respect to bone. That is quite a lot of English I just said. Okay, so there are two ways to do this. One is from the weight table, which we are going to discuss later on. Another one is the paint weight. Paint weight is quite easy. Okay, now this is the brush and I wanted to remove the size of the brush. When you press shift and alt, it will actually control its strength of the brush, and when you press control and shift, it will actually affects its brush size. So I'll be just reducing the size, and that is the both thing you need to know, and you just have to, yeah, and then just paint it, because I just wanted my strength to be 1 so that I could paint it as a red one. Pen pressure, it doesn't accepts pen pressure, because it is not actually painting, it is actually just selecting the vertices and providing that value which you had selected in the strength. Yeah, not everyone, there has to be some kind of blending between the colors, because you need to modulate your skin. The skin is stretchy, so it is not blocky. So if it is a stretchy skin, then you need to provide something like that, something like this color in between of the joints. So let's select another bone. We can actually select that bone. Yeah, alt. All will be for the negative direction, but there is also one more thing. You can actually go over here in the settings for the painter, and you can go for minimum settings, and in if you wanted this to be having no values, no effect over on the geometry, then you need to select any other geometry which is going to influence that, it, right? Yeah, so it won't work something like that. So I'll just add values. Now change the bone. Mirrored pivot, see pivot how much influence it takes, and that is way too much. So we can actually control the influence. We can actually select the whole thing. It is boring, but there are multiple ways to do this. So it's not that boring if you are listening to songs and doing some. Yes, I am doing skinning. Yeah, student is there. No. Chala gaya means